the Prompto DLC. So you can start the new DLC from a separate icon off of the main menu. And this is really one of the things that I just don't like about the Final Fantasy 15 DLCs that they've been doing. They're segmented from the main game in their own kind of like off in their own little world. And I wish that they were integrated into the main game. You look at other games that have come out, and I'll just use this as an example because I've been playing it, but with like Mafia, every time you want to play the DLC, you load up your main save and you do it from that map. I would have been fine if you just load up your main save and from in that game, they're like, oh, experience the past memories of Gladio and Prompto. Would you like to initiate a past memory? And I'd be like, yes, I would. And then go there. I don't know why, I just don't like going to another menu for it. It just feels like its own separate thing. I'm like, put it in the world. We're all together. We all love Prompto. Well, I love Prompto. So let's actually talk about the DLC. Overall, I did have a good time with this DLC, and I will say the combat is different from the last one and from the main game. So Prompto uses lots of guns in here. So you get your pistol while you're firing at enemies. This uses kind of like an auto fire, and you can spend time really dodging enemies. So hold down that fire button and keep doing all the flashy dodges. I think he took some Max Payne training, a little bit of Dante from Devil May Cry. You can kind of see how he slides around the environment. I don't know if he greased up his pants a little bit, because he's never like, he's about gets ready to slide and doesn't kind of move anywhere, you know, and then has to kind of like Paul Blart his way into cover. He's always flipping and sliding everywhere, and it's very stylistic and it looks really cool. So if you're using the pistol, you pretty much are in your own personal John Woo movie, or you can use other guns like sniper rifles, SMGs, and rocket launchers. But what's neat here is these are all manually controlled and very similar to a traditional third-person shooter. I will say that the controls are good. They could use a bit more refinement. It's good and it's serviceable, and I do like that it's something different. It fits his character very well. So yeah, I really enjoyed the gunplay in this. I will say that sometimes the auto lock would just attach itself to a barrel when I wanted to hit an enemy, and I'm like, what am I playing, something from the PS1 era? Come on, hit the enemy! Minor annoyance, but really won't hurt your experience. The story too is also a really good one for this DLC, so the player gets to learn more about Prompto's past, and what's nice is you even get flashbacks to him as a kid. I think this is really cool because we only really got to see him as a kid from the anime that you can watch on YouTube, so it's neat to kind of see that here. The story also features more time with Ariana, and I really like that because I like her character. She's a badass character, but she's one of those side characters in Final Fantasy 15 that doesn't get as much screen time and development as you want her to, and I hope they add more to that because the ladies are pretty awesome in Final Fantasy 15. So every time she's on screen for Prompto's DLC, I always enjoyed her, and she does play an important role in the story. The episode features many military buildings that you'll be fighting through, and then after you get through those, you kind of get this awesome big wintry area that really is gorgeous to look at. And some of the lighting in the game, you just stop and look, you're like, wow, this is one impressive looking environment. What is neat is you can explore this area with your snowmobile, and you can do optional side missions if you want to too. They're simple stuff, but they're there if you really want to do them. Now I will say the first instance of using the snowmobile, it could have been a bit more epic. It was kind of going for this big escape sequence, but it didn't really live up to what it was trying to be. You just kind of drove out of there and there would be occasional explosions. I think it needed a bit more excitement, a bit more amped upness, because there is an area that happens at the end of the game that really is quite epic. So the episode concludes with this really awesome boss fight. I thought it was a very well done boss fight. And then after that, you have a turret escape sequence, and it's awesome. It's the icing on the cake of this DLC. It's very good, there's some intensity to it, and it's quite large and like epic. The final story cutscene is also pretty touching too. So I will say this, that the story is worth experiencing, and I really enjoy the new combat sequences that you get to play through here. Overall, if you enjoy Final Fantasy 15, you want some more backstory on Prompto, you want to find out what happens after he got pushed off the train and you meet him later in the game, well, here you go. You can try it here. This whole DLC also kind of gave me a little bit of a Metal Gear Solid feel, and that is never a bad thing. So I want to say thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please hit that like button, and if you'd like to see more content like this, please subscribe, and I'll see you next time.